Good morning, everyone. Um, I'm, Spirit told me to get up and bloody give you a message today. So, I'm not going to pull cards on it, I'm just going to talk about it. In one of my last messages, I did this little drawing, and we were talking about maintaining this energy, which is God frequency, Jesus frequency of light energy. So light energy, and we were talking about animating these, keeping or holding a ground of peace, love, joy, harmony, faith, hope. Like a manifesting type energy, because it's a positive energy, and a positive energy is a creative energy. It's not an energy that disables anything. It's progressive, and it's a growth. So growth is in that as well. And by maintaining this creative energy, it creates a frequency that puts a barrier around your energy, right? Which, if you can maintain these energies. So by keeping in a peaceful state, in a God frequency, Jesus frequency, and emanate peace, love, joy, happiness, creative, manifesting, love, and you maintain that frequency, keeps the dark energies from penetrating. And so that's what we have to be mindful. So with mindfulness, keeping a peaceful energy can expand, and you can expand within your own space, in your own families, in your own communities, and that energy can grow and grow. Okay? Now, the powers that be understand this. So if we look back on our empire society that we live in, and the way society has developed by infiltrating peaceful energies, which is as it's progressed, going back ancient times, this knowledge was known. And until a negative, because we've always got negative and positive, right? But it's got out of balance. So we've got too much of the dark energy and not enough of the light energy. So we need to make this light energy expand for a peaceful world, creative and growing world, right? Progressive. And that doesn't mean destroying, that doesn't mean digging up half the planet to be able to grow it in another side of the world. Do you know what I mean? Not taking from one community and giving to another community. That's like an unbalanced, that's an unbalanced society. If we have to go over to a neighbour and take from them to give to another, and leaving that other with nothing, then that's unbalanced. So on a personal level, it happens in the same way. So the powers that be in past histories have worked on communities, and like small indigenous communities and things like that, to penetrate their peaceful energy, because they live peacefully with nature, right? So these power infiltrated the peaceful energy, and because this peaceful energy was pure and naive to this darkness, because this darkness is tricky, right? Darkness comes in like, like they finesse. They will come in and, like if we take it back to a personal level, so we're talking about a personal level and then a larger scale, right? So, so on a personal level, a dark spirit may come to a light being, a peaceful energy, and finesse, like be nice and loving, and like real, like reel you in to into your energetic field, which is this, right? And but they come in like as if disguised as a nice energy, and by like love bombing. So you've got to be very, very careful. Somebody comes in nice and then will attack and in society, when we're talking about like on community levels, like the large empires, say, taking over an indigenous community, and they come in and they would like love bomb with trinkets and things like that, and then attack and use like sex magic, so like rape and pillage, so that they are attached to the individuals, and put shame on individuals, shame in and then that lowers the vibration of this peaceful energy. When that energy is lowered, then the darkness can penetrate the light energy, this energy field, with these dark forces, which is like bitterness and hatred and wishing death on others and that kind of thing. So when these dark energies have come into an individual, let's go back to an individual level. Say a young person is innocent, and they are full of life in energy, like they're happy and they want to give love, and we're not talking about love as in sex, right? But this is where people get confused, because then they allow the energies in to physically touch and be close to a person, and then can betray that trust and infiltrate the physical vessel, which then leave them, right? So energies, dark energies can come onto a young innocent person, gain their trust by love bombing, being nice and being physical and then invading their vessel, and then that causes an attachment to that dark energy. And that comes in a form like shame. So that person turns around, takes from the light energy and takes it away. And then that causes the light energy to feel darkness and shame. And, like as a young person, that can destroy that person, because then there's the energy projection from the dark energy that goes into the light energy. And by causing this shame, that other person can just talk about that other, the light energy, and say, well, they go away, and then they might go, oh yeah, I slept with that person, or, like I took advantage of that person in some way, whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be like on a sexual level. It can just be taking in general, like taking in some form or another. Taking the energy, taking the pure energy. So taking from that pure energy and then running with it. And that causes this energy field to shrink. So then this light energy, the peace and the harmony and the joy, it's like taking the joy from that energy and they take it away with them. So there's an energy transfer. So when the dark energy does that and takes away from the light energy, because this light energy produces on their own. They produce their own energy. That's what makes them a pure energy. Quite often that's, like innocent people, like young children. Or just people that have not been, like taken advantage of. So that person, the dark energy that runs away with a piece of this light energy, runs away, and that causes them to have a power. Because we've got to remember that these dark energies have also been taken from. And so they try to replace what has been taken from them with another light energy. And so it becomes a cycle of energy harvesting. So in recognizing that this is what's happening, one must realign with their pure energy. Say that you have been violated and lost your pure energy, and that has caused you to become sad and bitter and like lonely and shameful and all those negative energies. That causes this energy field to shrink, and so it takes away the peace, the love and the harmony, and only brings in more of the dark energies. And so that cycle can repeat and repeat and repeat, and that can cause another, the person, the original light energy, that can cause that person then to become dark. And this is how the dark forces take over, and this is what's happened in all of our society on a large scale, right? So what needs to happen now is that we need to recognize this. Recognize that we may have been violated ourselves and our innocence taken away. So in recognizing that it's been taken away by somebody else and used to for them to use to energize themselves to take that and give them power, right? So recognizing that, we must now then go back into ourselves and realign ourselves to find this peaceful energy again. And this is God frequency. This is Jesus frequency. And this is what it means to take Jesus into your heart. And what is Jesus? Is love, joy, happiness, harmony, peace. All those energies, those light energies, the ones that make us feel light and energetic and happy. Because we can then push back the feelings of sadness and shame and hatred and bitterness, jealousy. They are demonic energies. They are dark energies. And our world has become too dark. I mean, we have to have a balance of both, right? That is the yin and the yang. This is the balance of all energies, dark and light. Light cannot shine without darkness, okay? But it's out of alignment. We've got too much darkness. So we must bring back into balance the light energies. So the light energies and people, there is teachers and speakers who are talking about this and teaching people to realign themselves and go within themselves and to breathe and breathing in the light energy of love into the self. So rather than trying to outsource, because this is what the energy harvesters do, by running away with our initial energy, they cause an energetic connection. So that needs to be chopped off. Now, some people know what they're doing in this. There's a lot of energies out there who actually understand this, but use that dark energy to take from others. They use it. So these are the people that have also had their innocence taken away and energy harvested from. But they will take it and use that to take from more light energies. But what that is energetically progressing towards is a nothingness. Because if we keep allowing too much dark energy to infiltrate the light energy, eventually the light energy will run out and there will only be darkness. And that is bitterness, hatred, shame. You see what I'm saying? Death. It means death, darkness. And that's what it means to go to hell. And if you have been harvested from and therefore lack creative energy, which God gives us. God gives us creative energy because that's part of this light energy, this peaceful energy, this love, harmony, and faith in that, joy in being creative because it is light, because it is creating, and that is the image of God, being a creator rather than a taker, because the taker turns into nothingness. That's demonic energy. That's dark energy. You see? So, by allowing too much dark energy, and if you cross to that dark side and don't go within and find that inner peace, that joy within the self, which is Jesus' energy, Jesus' frequency, which is a creative frequency. Jesus was sent here to tell us this, exactly this, by showing how the dark energies took from him, right? By slandering and beating and violating in so many terrible ways until they killed him. That was the point of him showing, but then he rose from it, right? Rose from it with this peaceful energy. Even though all that darkness happened to him, He was sent here to show us this. So this is what we can do. If you this is taking Jesus into the heart, right? Holding on to this peaceful energy and projecting peace, love and joy. Although you have been violated and beaten and slandered and all those things, just like Jesus, right? Because they take from those young, innocent energies. And if you can then expand that and push back those darknesses, we can then balance out our world again and regrow and be creative. You know, we get gifts. Some of us get gifts to show you this. Okay? I'm feeling an emotion now. Emotional about this. This is what it's all about. So if you can go within, find that peace, go and meditate and be with God. The closest place you can get to God is in His creations, and that is going to nature. If you go out into nature and sit with it, because this is created by God, these are the positive energies, and that is the frequencies, these frequencies, they're the creative frequencies because God created it, right? So, you know, nature, this is, you know, going out into nature. It's the earth, it's the trees, it's the plants, it's the animals. They all hold God's frequency in the patterns of their living cells. So if you go to sacred geometry, you can see those patterns. That's God frequency. And that's what I'm trying to demonstrate here with these, by starting off with those 3 circles that we started with the other day that I was trying to show you. And then projecting out, and that's how we create and expand. And, you know, realigning yourself is bringing back your innocence. And so in doing that, you take back your energy that people have taken from you. Stop giving to the dark energies that aren't giving back. So if there is no equal give and take, that means that those people are energy harvesting. If you're the only one giving and you're not receiving in return, because it's supposed to go in a circle, it's supposed to flow back and forth, right? With whatever energy that is, that can be on a personal level, it can be like sexually, it can be financial, it can be just your physical energy of helping people, like going and helping somebody else clean up their house, for instance, because they're lazy pricks, and you think you're helping them by showing them, you know, like how to clear their space. I mean, yes, we do need to guide and show people that too, but we can't overgive. If you overgive, then people are inclined to overtake. And they will draw off your energy, so you are still being harvested because you're unaware of that. So being aware of the energy harvesting, you need to pull back, put the energy back into the self, and that means like physically too. That's also like taking back your sexual energy. So if you've got a partner and that person takes from you, like for instance, say if you've got a partner that you know, like you, let's put it like serve, right? You giving everything, but nothing's coming back to you. Like that person will, you know, like say if you're a mother and a wife, and you're constantly there, you know, like cleaning and cooking and being there physically, sexually for your husband, and say he goes to work and comes back and just grunts and, you know, eats what you give him without thanks, out giving thanks. So if this is being taken for granted, right, not receiving gratitude is being taken for granted. That's been energy harvested. You are being energy harvested if you are being taken for granted. So you have to draw back that energy. And so say if, then your husband, wants to have sex with you and you're like, oh God, because there's no love giving. It's just like fucking, and then they roll over and go to sleep and they don't even communicate with you, right? That's them, and then they get up and go to work and put their energy into whatever it is else they do, and then and so that's taken from you, and then you're there to clean up the mess at home again. So this is just an example, right? This can be in any scenario, and then come home again, and then they take from you again. Now, there can be an equal give and take when, say, your husband goes to work and you're there to look after the children and cook the food and, clean, if that's the deal, right? But there still has to be the gratitude and the appreciation on both sides for it to be a balanced relationship. Because if it's not balanced, you're being energy harvested and that energy gets taken away somewhere else. So it's not equal. And so then it becomes dark and eventually it will fall to pieces. It can cause arguing and fighting and violence and all that. So when these things are happening, this is this dark energy that comes in, because if this person is being taken advantage of and taken for granted, and they get sad and feel shamed or tired, this person's being energy harvested because they're taking the joy and the peace and the harmony and the love and the energy, and that's what makes people get depressed. And they get into a depression. When people get into a depression, this energy then goes down. This energy goes down because the joy and the love and the peace and the harmony gets less and less and less. And then until this person becomes sad. And then that allows more of these dark energies to penetrate the energy. So until one recognizes this and then starts to go within and put the energy into themselves. So in a marriage situation, this person needs to get out. They need to leave and change the situation, because they're just going to keep getting harvested. For the other person to actually realize it, because that, it's a vicious circle, right? It goes from one person to the next. But this is what our whole society's been based on, by going back ancient, when powers taking over other countries and taking over other communities. That's exactly what they were doing. By rape and pillage, they would take people's resources, and they would take people's wives and children, and make men feel shamed by raping their wives and children in front of them, and then sodomizing a man or a boy to make them feel small and less, to keep them in that state, because they can have that power over them, and that's them. So they harvesting the energy from them. So this has happened on a global scale, community scale, at all levels, right down to the individual person in their home. It is an expanding thing. But there's more and more people understanding and realizing this, and are going within and finding this inner peace, and then helping to project the love and the joy and the happiness, because it emanates from within themselves. And so when you walk down the street, you emanate this energy of peace, happiness, and joy. And then that can expand onto other people. I mean, you know how we can make another person smile, for instance. That's where it starts. Just by being kind to someone. Allowing somebody to experience love in some way, shape or form. Sex is not love. Sex can come with love, but sex can also come with hatred, and that's a problem, because that is how energy harvesters can latch on to you, through sexual energy, because that can bring shame and regret, and that can be used against an individual to keep them in a shame and regretful state. So in recognizing this, then you can find a peace, because you know that it's been taken from your innocence. So you've got to regenerate the innocence, the love, the peace, the child that you started with. Knowing that, like these energy harvesters come in all walks of life. Doesn't matter what creed or culture or, family, Well, a lot of us have been harvested from as children by our parents, and our siblings. So the energy harvesters need to withdraw from, so that you can regain the inner peace, and then possibly that can help those people that you've had to withdraw from see your progressive development, creative development, so that then they can go within. Because they can see it. And then they might go, wow, shit, I might be able to find my own energy, and I won't need to harvest from someone else. Because we're all given gifts when we're born from God, and that's that inner innocence. And if we use that creatively to expand and grow in peace, in light energy, then we can become successful, and we can then help grow that peaceful energy, and we can then live in a more harmonious society, if we can counteract all that has happened in the past throughout history, because all of our history has been based on these principles and those powers that know this. See, some people actually have this knowledge but choose to use it for the darkness, to destroy. That's devil energy, because that leads to nothingness. It leads to nothingness, because it's not creating. It's only taking. So anyway, I'm going to leave that message there with you, and I hope you understand and can take that with you, and hopefully accept maybe negative experiences that you may have experienced, and then transmute that energy into joy by going within and finding the peace and looking for that childlike energy, that innocent energy, and reproduce that in joy, love, and peace. Yeah, I'll leave that with you, and please have a joyful and harmonious and peaceful day. Bye.